Hello, I am Majid 2006. Welcome to the channel What We Are Why. Being in love is such a wonderful feeling, sometimes even indescribable as to how much you adore a person. It's when you are with this person that you'd feel you're complete and that you can take anything as long as you have them. But what if sometimes you feel as though you want just to end the relationship and move forward with your life? No, it's not like your typical lover's quarrel. It's not even a sign that you're bipolar. There's a term for these mixed feelings of love and hate towards your partner, and that's called a love-hate relationship. When you are in a love-hate relationship, it becomes more of a struggle to keep going. One day you find yourself head over heels in love with your partner, while the very next day you can't stand them. It's emotionally exhausting and chaotic to be in such a situation when you're not sure whether you love a person or hate them. You are in a constant state of dilemma whereby you can't seem to understand what you actually want from the relationship. For days, he could only think of her. His work was constantly interrupted by thoughts of her radiant smile. Nothing else seemed important. Even food was just a necessity, it no longer holding his attention or satisfying him. Finally, he had the courage to ask her for a date. A few months later they married, their vows proclaiming everlasting love and devotion to one another. 5 years later, he stared at the divorce papers, wondering what happened. Relationships can vacillate in their intensity. One moment you are deeply in love and the next moment you can feel intense anger. Maybe you are laughing, holding hands, and then a few words are spoken that make you feel hurt and crushed. Why does this happen? What is a love-hate relationship? Is there such a thing as loving and hating someone at the same time and maintaining a relationship with them in the process? It takes someone to feel such intense emotions to be in a love-hate relationship, as you can sway from one intense emotion to another. A love-hate relationship can occur not just with a lover but also with a friend and even with your sibling. But today, we're focusing on romantic relationships. It's normal to have feelings of anger, resentment, and a little bit of hate when you and your partner argue, but when it's happening more often than it should, and instead of breaking up for good, you feel that you're getting stronger, you might be in a love-hate relationship. This relationship can surely be an emotional roller coaster with the intense emotions being felt by the couple. It's both liberating yet draining, exciting yet tiring, passionate yet aggressive, and at some point, you'll have to ask yourself, is there really a future for this type of relationship? At some point, some may say that the feeling of reconciling after a fight and how each one tries their best to make up for the shortcomings can feel like an emotional addiction. But over time, this can cause abusive patterns that can lead to destructive actions. It can be draining when you're fighting and hating each other, but all of these can change, and you're back to your loving relationship again. Causes of love-hate relationships. Love and hate are two of the most powerful emotions in our lives. They can drive us to do incredible things or cause us to lash out at the people we care about. Here are a few causes why love-hate relationships occur. Your partner and yourself are in two different places in life. Your partner doesn't respect your needs or feelings. Your partner holds you back rather than supports you. Your partner is emotionally unavailable or not available at all. You fear being alone, so you don't give yourself a chance to be happy alone. Just how do you differentiate a love-hate relationship from the usual lover's quarrel? Here are the signs to watch for. 1. Breaking up and making up cycle. If you are breaking up and making up with your partner again and again, it's a classic sign of a love-hate relationship. One day you convince yourself that you two are better off without each other, but soon you crawl back to each other in the hope that things will be different somehow. How to fix it? This is indicative of a toxic relationship, and you need to come to terms with the fact that you two may not be made for each other. No matter how much you try, making up with your ex will not change anything. They will still be the same person you broke off with. So, identify the sign and do what's right for you. Don't go through the emotional roller coaster again and again. 2. Being caught up with unresolved issues. Your relationship lacks effective communication and there are a lot of unresolved issues that you simply choose to ignore. There are certain topics that you never discuss with each other because that will force you to open up and reveal your true feelings, which seems scary for the relationship. So, instead of addressing the elephant in the room, you hide your feelings and go on with life assuming that everything will be fine on its own. How to fix it? If you are unable to discuss certain things with your partner, the relationship isn't as healthy as it should be. Despite the chances of an argument and sour feelings, a couple should be able to get past the differences and conflicts through a mature conversation. It is possible for two people having different views to respect each other's opinion and still be able to fall in love without taking any offense. 3. Pretending things for the outside world. When you are in a love-hate relationship, you are majorly concerned about what the world thinks about you two as a couple. You act differently in front of the outside world and try hard to appear much in love. You also resort to displaying your affection on social media, hoping to set relationship goals for couples that you hang out with. How to fix it? You don't need to pretend how much you love your partner as long as your feelings are genuine. Showing off your intimate moments on internet will not ensure a happy relationship. You don't have to seek anybody's validation on how you and your partner are carrying on the relationship or how good your chemistry is. Don't bother about others' opinion of you and be honest with your partner. If it's not working out, better call it quits instead of pretending that everything is fine. 4. Experiencing extreme emotions. You really love some parts of their personality and feel lucky to be with them, but also hate them for their shortcomings. Instead of discussing each other's faults, you two yell at each other and play the blame game. This leads to a big fight and neither of you want to listen to the other's perspective. The two of you end up feeling that the other is not doing enough for the relationship. How to fix it? Everyone has a negative and positive side, but when you are in a relationship, you tend to accept the person for who they are. You understand their flaws, try to make them better, and in return, they do the same for you. When you don't love someone truly, you'll not be able to forego their bad side. And if that's the case, you must definitely end things and move on. 5. Lack of a meaningful connection. If you and your partner only find each other attractive for superficial aspects like your economic status and good looks, something's quite not right. A love-hate relationship is devoid of passion, romance, and emotional intensity. It makes you focus on things like wondering how good you two look with each other rather than paying attention to finding a meaningful connection. How to fix it? Love is meant to connect you with the other person's soul, so they know what's going on in your head without you saying a word. It's supposed to be the language of silence where you two can be yourself while being together. Try to be transparent and honest with them. Look deep into their eyes and find a medium to connect with their inner self. Don't pay undue attention to their physical traits. 6. You don't see a future. In all honesty, do you see yourself growing old with your partner with whom you share a love-hate relationship? Sure, it's all tolerable now, but if you can't imagine yourself with this person and with the pattern of relationship that you have now, then you might need to start fixing the relationship. 7. Not addressing the reasons of hate. You have so many things that you hate about each other, but you don't do anything to really address the issue and resolve it. You just pacify the anger and hate until it explodes back again. 8. Resentment. You find it hard to be in the same room as your partner without feeling angry or resentful. This means that your love for each other is not as strong as it once was. 9. No solution after fights. Do you feel that the thrill of fighting and proving who is wrong, then making out after the fight, isn't really giving you a real relationship but is instead just giving way to a temporary release of frustrations? 10. There's no discussion of goals. Sure, you can be intimate and passionate and feel that great sexual tension, but how about that deep connection where you can talk about your life goals and future? Love-hate relationship psychology. Can you love and hate your partner at the same time? The psychology of relationships and love can be very confusing, and we have to understand that there will be different emotions that will affect how we handle our relationships. So, can you love someone you hate? Well, love does come in many forms, and romantic love is just one of them. When finding your suitable partner, both should work hard to be better and to fulfill a deeper meaning of life. While arguments and disagreements are normal, they shouldn't just cause mixed feelings of hate but also be an opportunity to grow emotionally and change. For ways to fix a love-hate relationship. A real relationship will work on the issue and will make sure that open communication is always there. The sad truth here is that a love-hate relationship can just give you a false feeling of being wanted and being able to go against all odds for your love. But the thing here is that over time this can even lead to abuse, and nobody wants that. So, how to fix a love-hate relationship? Let's find out. 1. Talk. Open up the lines of communication and have honest conversations about what's bothering both of you. This can help to identify any underlying issues and hopefully resolve them. 2. Accept and respect their differences. Being accepting of your partner's differences is important for any successful relationship. Try to learn to appreciate their traits instead of focusing on the things you don't like about them. 3. Change things up in the bedroom. Don't be afraid to try something new in bed and see if you like what your partner is doing. Experimenting with different positions or toys can help you relax and de-stress, allowing you to enjoy sex with your partner more. 4. Spend quality time. Find ways to spend time together. Agree to a weekly date or weekend away where you can spend time together and reconnect as a couple. This will also give both of you a chance to refocus on your relationship and show you both that you care about each other. Some may think that they love each other so much and that this love-hate relationship is a product of their extreme love for each other, but it's not. In fact, it's not a healthy way to have a relationship. True love is never selfish. You just don't accept that a love-hate relationship is normal and will eventually be okay, because it won't. This is a very unhealthy relationship and will not do you any good. Consider ways on how you can be better, not just as a person but as a couple. It's never too late to change for the better and to have a relationship centered on love and respect. Now, if you want to be successful in romantic relationships and know more, subscribe to my channel. I made many tutorials for you. I will kiss you, my dear.